All right. Hi, guys. Welcome to Teammate to Love's team call. It is April 19th, 2016, and I can't believe that we're that far into the year, but we are, and it's a blessing. So, but my name is Brooke Sperling. If I didn't say that, I might have said it twice, but I'm really excited today because I love figuring out, things about this business and things that we need to pass on to people that are growing their business with us. And it's really fun because over the last couple of years, crunching numbers and looking at numbers and being really diligent on paying attention to things is fun and stressful, but a good kind of stress. Lately, I've been listening to a really awesome podcast, and Pat Flynn is one of my favorites, although he has super long podcasts talking about passive income. And I just talked to April earlier because it kind of makes me sick to my stomach to say residual income. And I don't know if it's because residual sometimes reminds me of dentist appointments or what, but passive income makes me really happy. And the other day when I told Wes how happy it made me, I said, am I just a numbers dork that I just love to think about passive income and that you work really hard for a season of your life and then you have this income coming in and how amazing it is. He said, well, I have passive income. I said, well, you have had to work 20 years for it, and I don't want to have to work 20 years for it. So I want to talk about what that looks like today because we have a lot of confusing things about team cycle bonus that causes us to be really passive about our business. And instead of being really, really aggressive on building your legs and building your business and talking to people about it in a very consistent, hot way where you're on fire every single day doing it. So we're going to talk about team cycle bonus, and I have made these really awesome pictures so that I can describe things to you and you can look at it, because when I sit down and April we've had our days of where we're sitting on the floor and writing out our legs and counting up the volume and looking at the volume and doing a lot of math problems. And it was just absolutely insane on learning how to build your leg. And I said, hey, do you want to be on my team call with me so we can talk about good and bad things and lessons that we've learned and getting on the right track. So if I'll let April talk for a little bit, if she wants to share, some of the things that she's had experience before I go into this so that you understand why this is important to learn it now, no matter how long you've been a coach, whether you just signed up last week, or, if you've made bad mistakes or bad decisions and you've made mistakes with signing up coaches. From today on, you know how important it is to do this and do it right. Okay, have at it, April.
Hi, do you want to jump on my team call? I'll let you talk first. I just want to say that Shalene would be so proud of you and your doodles. So I always tell my team that honestly, I had no idea what I was doing before I talked to Brooke. And this was honestly last year. It was either end of 2014 or beginning of 2015. So I was a coach for almost 2 years before I knew what the heck I was doing with volume. And I could kick myself for it. So I had no idea what to do with volume. I put Matt on my strong leg, and then I built him to diamond, and now he's like a 3-star diamond on my strong leg. And honestly, if I would have just known what I was doing and also not have been adding people to right leg, left leg, right leg, left leg, just because I was like, well, I don't know, let's balance out these legs. And now, from Brooke telling me no, build your weak leg. Now I'm able to share that with my team and help you guys them because, oh my gosh, I was just a hot mess. So it's so important to figure out and know the importance of how much you can financially benefit from building your weak leg volume and knowing how you're going to strategize where you're going to put people, because honestly, if I look at what I'm making now, I honestly could probably be making $1,500 extra a week if I knew what I was doing with volume back then, because I recruit a lot and my coaches recruit. because I have such a strong volume base, I 100% I'd making at least $1,000 extra a week if I paid attention to volume in the beginning, because it took me almost 2 years to figure it out. So yeah, so just make sure that you're always spouse or somebody that you have access to working their business is always on the weak leg. That's my biggest mistake that I kick myself all the time for. But it's not the end of the world. I have, because he's on my strong leg, I have a ton of carryover volume. So, it just makes me want to build my weak leg more. And the other cool thing is that once you hit 2-star, you get to open a second business center. So it's essentially like you sponsoring yourself as a coach, and you can put yourself wherever you want. You can put it on the weak leg, and you can also put it on your spouse's weak leg. So you can not only build your weak leg volume, but you can also build your spouse's weak leg volume, and you can both cycle more. So as you grow your business, it's so important. 2-star is like, first emerald is really important, so you can unlock that compensation plan. Diamond, you're going to make even more money on each cycle bonus, which Brooke will talk about. But 2-star is where the magic really happens, because then you're going to get to choose where you put your volume. So every single challenge pack I sell goes through my second business center, because that's all adding to weak leg volume. So.
Okay. So thank you, April. Thank you. I know she and I message all the time talking about volume and sharing tips. And it's what's so exciting to me is once you understand the numbers and you understand how this works every single day in your business. And when I say every single day, Wes and I had to look it up how many times that you had the potential to cycle, because it's crazy building these numbers and looking at how you need to build them. So I'm giving you an example of where my volume is right now, because I'm not afraid to hide it, because I have worked hard for it. So I'm going to tell you about, this is where I'm at with, you have to be an Emerald coach. April said that, with having 2 active coaches, and you have to be active as well. So you being active and you having a right leg and a left leg. So right now, my strong leg, my left leg is 16,765. My right leg, my weak leg is 2,400, 2,432. So to get your team cycle bonus, your weak leg, yours may be flip-flopped. They may be even close together depending on where your placement is. It's nobody's fault what it is. Although you are responsible for one of your legs specifically to keep one more than the other, because this is how you're going to cycle. So your weak leg will subtract whichever leg has the least amount. So obviously that's a huge difference. But even if this was at 16,000 even and this is at 1675, they will go off of the lesser one. It will subtract 100, 100, 100, 100 as many times as it can to get to the, to having 32. So 24 times it will do that. It will go into this 24 times, which it can go into this way more than 24 times, couldn't it? It could go 83 times actually. So that's what I'm going to show you. But this is why it's so important. If you're Emerald or above and you don't think it's important to stay active, and you want to change your Shakeology to be outside of your 30-day shipping, or you don't pay attention to customers, and you're deciding to take some days off, and you're not paying attention to if people are returning things, or you're just not paying attention basically, then I'm going to tell you what happens. You lose all of that leg, all of that volume that is carryover right here. So if I had $16,000 and today I canceled my Shakeology, this $16,000 would go away. It would go down to zero till tomorrow. And do you know how hard it has taken to get 16,000? It's taken a long time to get 16,000. So staying active is how you're going to get that. Yay, I put yay, because your strong leg is going to carry over every single week. But if you go inactive and you cancel your shake, or you don't pay attention to your customers, and you're not following up with them, and you're not talking to them about what they're doing, and you go inactive, you lose all of that. And it's not a fun place to be, I'm going to tell you. So let's go back to this. I had to make
I just want to say something real quick. If you're looking and you're tracking yourself, and you'll see in your sponsorship drill down, And you want to check your sponsorship drill down multiple times a week, not just like Wednesday and be like, oh crap, I'm going to be inactive. So check it multiple times a week. And if, like, for example, Matt was red inactive like a week or so ago because of returns. He had 2 returns. He still had his Shakeology, but it was showing him as inactive because he didn't have the PV. So what you can do if that's the case, if it's because of a return, is you can contact coach relations, but you need to find this out before Wednesday because it takes sometimes 3 days for it to take into a place. But you can request an active status guarantee. And I have my coaches in my downline do that too. If they're at risk of being inactive and they're still drinking their shake, but they had a return and it's going to negatively affect my rank or anything like that, I say, okay, get on this live chat and you're going to request an active status guarantee because you have your 90 PV on HD, but that's a return. So that's not going to affect you. That shouldn't affect you. That's just the way it is. And you have to stay on top of that and make sure that you are doing that so you don't go inactive.
Thank you. Okay, so what that looks like. So if I divide 100 or 24 or 32 by 100, that's 24 cycles that it will cycle. It leaves 12,145 on this side because I divide my strong leg by 200, but only 24 times because that's the amount that it can go into this side. And this is what you're focusing on the most. So that's where I'm going to show you why you work so hard to build this leg up. Because this right here, this 12,000 that carries over is money that I could have and that you could have. And what's so sad about that is when you carry that over, that's every day that I could have that cycling. So that's my carryover volume, whatever's left out of your cycle that happens. So 24 times, and that's my leftover right here.
Can you bring it a little closer, Brooke?
Yes, sorry.
No, you're fine. A little further. Okay.
So I'm a diamond rank. So times 18, that's $432 in the cycle for today. That's how much I would get out of team cycle bonus.
Woo!
But if I had the most that I could get out of this 16,000, my weak leg would have to be at 8,300. You see that? Mm-hmm. You see how much I would get if I signed up more and had more volume on this side, on my weak leg. This is building up my weak leg. And I've been working hard for that for 2 years to do that. Mm-hmm. So my strong leg is, I'm on whatever side, I guess I'm on Kelly's left side. And, whatever volume is coming on that side is coming from other coaches. It's coming from their coaches. It's coming from their personal Shakeology, their personal orders. And while I sign up coaches on this side for rank purposes, I am mostly trying to build this side right here, this volume on this side, and how important that is. So I'm just going to go over this really fast because you should know this and you should be able to get this information. But when you're Emerald, you get $14 a cycle. When you're a Ruby, you get 16. When you're Diamond, you get 18. So what that looks like, if that were me right now, is this right here. So for Emerald, I would get, I'm going to show you that in a second, $336. That's how much I would get. If I was to cycle that entire time, that's how much I could get. 384, you see that? 432 for $18. Except Beachbody has this lovely rule that forces you to want to move up rank because you can only max out at $250 a week. So while your volume could be incredibly high on one side and incredibly low on the other side, and it only cycles a certain amount of time, but what if it cycled more and you only got $250? What if it cycled to where you could get $300 or even $280? $30 is a lot for 1 week. $30 is a lot. So getting yourself to a place that you can feel good about, like if I don't, keep my 1-star or 2-star and I'm cycling more than $2,000, April probably gets her team cycle bonus more than $2,000. And if she hits 8-star and she could get $9,000 in team cycle bonus, but she's still sitting at 2,000, then that would be really discouraging and disappointing because, you know, she's worked really hard for this. And I don't mean that bad, April, of course, you know, but it's very, very, very important for you to pay attention to where you're placing your coaches and how you're building your legs, because this right here makes a huge difference in what your team cycle bonus is going to be. So every single day we can cycle up to 96 times. I checked that out. That's pretty special. A week.
No, sorry.
I have Wes back there talking. A week. So you can check your, if you go to your business tab, my volume, you can see how many times you're cycling by clicking on it. And like from 1 week to the next, I have gone from cycling 40 times to cycling 20 times. That's how much volume can drop in 1 week, from coaches going inactive, from, you know, customers canceling their shake, from coaches losing rank. It can drop that dramatically.
Yeah, and the other thing is too is that you'll notice that I know the last week of the month, I don't know if it's the 3rd and 4th or the 1st and 4th is where, but I know it's definitely the 4th is where I have my largest cycle every month, because that's when a lot of my shake orders are, my, you know, HD orders are going through and things like that. And then it's not just yours as you build your team, it's your coaches and their teams HD orders and their teams and their customers. So I've just noticed that I tend to group a lot together that 4th week, and that volume cycle is always so much higher than some of the other weeks. So you're going to have too that you'll notice that some weeks are greater than others. But yeah.
Yeah. So when I texted Kelly last week, I said, oh my gosh, next week I only cycled, I can't even remember how many times. And I said, how could it drop that dramatically? And she said, someone had to have had a lot of returns, and because to lose that much volume. And so I checked, and one of my coaches had almost like negative 300 PV. And that is a lot. That is a lot. That takes away, you know, so many cycles per day that I'm getting, and paying attention to that. So how do you fix that? You can't fix it, honestly, except for you working harder to build your weak leg and what that looks like. I have quite a few coaches that have been placed in places that they have equal weak leg or equal legs, and, you know, they barely have a difference in legs. And way back when I was learning about legs and placement and placing my husband where I placed him, and I talked to Ann Doval, and she said, sometimes obviously you can't control it. You cannot control what your coaches do. You cannot control if their customers return things. You can't even control if your customers return things. It's very, very, very important that you focus on yourself, your business, what you're doing for yourself and your legs, and how you're teaching your coaches to stay active, and how you're teaching your coaches why that's important to stay active. And you work your butt off to stay active so that you can keep that passive income, so that you are planning for a day that you can look at it and say, I can go on vacation this week. I don't have to worry because I will get paid. And it was really funny. One of the girls that we were in Hawaii, she said, I can't believe that when I'm on vacation is usually when I get my biggest paycheck. And I thought, and you haven't had to do anything this entire week for that. So when you think about passive income, it is working really hard for these numbers to match up very, very, very closely to what you are looking for to make in this business, to have passive income. If you're needing to pay off debt, and to do that you need to be making $500 a month, then you need to look at the numbers and figure out what your weak leg needs to be at to match your strong leg. Because if you're not in control solely of your strong leg, then think about what you're needing to add to sign up coaches. If they just solely buy their 90 PV, think about how much that's going to be for you to add that to your weak leg and to build up that weak leg, and to not think, okay, I signed up 2 coaches here, I better flip-flop that coach, the next coach, and get it in your mind that you're solely focusing on building that volume up and growing that leg. Because there were many days that April was higher ranking than me, but I would cycle more times than her. And it wasn't because she wasn't working her butt off and wasn't doing great and her coaches weren't doing great. It's because of how these numbers play out. And what happens when, I don't have a whole lot of coaches on my week like that are working the business. And that's okay, because I love my coaches. And if they don't want to work the business, if they're getting their shake and that's what they're doing, then that is great for me. But building that leg and focusing on getting people that are willing to work the business and that will build that volume up is not just for you, it's for them, teaching them this exact same thing. So, everyone's different, but if you're happy with getting only one team cycle bonus of having $14 and that's your passive income, great, that's fine. But thinking about what your goal is how you're going to work this business, and thinking about how much you want to make. Because I'm sure that we ask every single person that we talk to about coaching, well, how much would you like to make in this business? How much would be beneficial to you? And not being able to tell them how they're going to make that, and not being able to show them how the numbers play out and how they need to work on that, is you're wasting your breath on telling them that. So while we don't do this solely for the money, because my gosh, you work way more hours sometimes than you get yeses. And it is, the purpose in it can be way more for each of us for different reasons. But when you're talking about making the best decisions and making the right decisions so that you can get the most amount of money that Beachbody offers you, then you need to make those decisions great from here on out, so that you get that blessing and get that benefit that we have of making $200,000, $2,000 a week, if that's what you're cycling. So we have a few more minutes, and I don't usually go over my team call time because most of us on my team are mamas and we get back to what we're supposed to be doing. So throw out some questions if you have them. If you don't understand the numbers, I am more than happy to take pictures of this and send it to you so you can work that out, because some of us are not number savvy. It's okay. But if you have a question, unmute yourself.
I made Brooke explain it to me like 1,700 times before I got it. Don't worry.
Yeah. But all of my team, you understand it, Natasha and Melissa and Megan. Do you guys understand Team Cycle Bonus and how it works every single week? So if you go to your volume, you could figure out what your Team Cycle Bonus is without ever trusting Beachbody on it.
Probably not that good. And the other really important thing is that a lot of times people are like, well, why do I want to sign up somebody that's getting shake every month as a discount coach? Because I'm not going to get that $32 a month anymore. And you just have to think of it as volume is king. And if you can get discount coaches, do it, because in the long run, that $32 isn't going to make or break you once you're looking at your cycle bonus. That's, 4 figures or something. So, for me, if I can get somebody to sign on, that's only going to increase my cycle bonus. And in the beginning, when I was broke and I really wanted this to work, my entire income was from challenge pack sales. So challenge packs, that was what I was doing. I was scared to talk to people about coaching for a long time because I was like, no, they just want Shaco. They probably don't want to be a coach. And that was me. That was my limiting belief, thinking that people didn't want to coach. They just wanted to get healthy. They weren't. And I literally was like a brat. I'd be like, they're not there yet. Like, that's the things that I would think they don't want to be a coach. They're not coach material. I was a brat for a long time, and kind of had a chip on my shoulder. And so don't be afraid to ask people. My sister, Melissa Ludwig, that, has lost 100 pounds and is a diamond coach. She was a discount coach. And she was miserable and not somebody that I would think wanted to be a coach when she joined. But I just asked her anyways, you're going to want the discount. And I have a lot of people that start as discount coaches and end up working the business. So that $32 is not going to make or break you in the long run when you're looking at how much your volume will bless you. Because right now, my cycle bonus is anywhere from 80 to 85% of my total income, not from selling challenge packs, not from doing this or doing that. And in 1 week, I bring home in just cycle bonus what I was bringing home all month for my full-time job. And I just have hit my 3-year mark this month. So, and I was doing that well before that. So it's just consistency. And exactly like Brooke said, some people want to work the business and go for it. For me, I recruit 8 to 10 coaches a month. That's me. But if you're working slower and you're 2 to 3 coaches, you're still going to build that volume. It's just going to be at a different level rate, but you're still going to see that volume every week.
Yeah, I am a firm believer in, number one, talking to people about getting the discount and doing the business, because you're not going to have everyone that wants to do the business. But my gosh, saving, $20 to $30 a month, it's almost that much when you take off, or when you add on taxes and the business fee and stuff. And I can't imagine not having some of my discount coaches on my team. They make my life so much better in my group, in my life, in my circle. So don't discredit people on that. And then it's really exciting when you sign up a discount coach and they say, oh, I'll never work the business. And then a week after they sign up, they message you and say, hey, I've told 3 people and they want to buy a challenge pack. And I think, yeah, that's why you sign people up that are wanting the discount for any reason. But we have 3 minutes. What is your biggest question about, Natasha, if you want to speak up, that you don't understand about Team Cycle Bonus?
Put me on the spot.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to do that from time to time.
I think you explained it pretty well. I don't think I have it, there's not much on that I don't understand about it. Okay. It does make sense, with the assigning the coaches. And like, April said, you're not losing the $32, you're building volume. Mm-hmm. And that's something that I think it needs to really stay in the back of your mind.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. And thank you, April, and thank you, April's team, for being here. And I hope that it helped a lot of you to understand why it's important to understand this for what you want out of this business financially. For right now, yes, you can have goals, but what do you need to think about right now for whatever, your business, how it needs to grow. Number 2, and for doing it right from the beginning and building your weak leg up after you get a stable rank position. You pay close attention to that and you build your weak leg up on the outside leg. So,
and one other thing real quick is, if you ever have somebody that's thinking about quitting, or they don't really understand the point of being emerald or the point of being diamond, say they're an emerald coach and you take a look and you say, okay, tell me how much volume you have or how much carryover volume you have. And you say, okay, so, that carryover volume times 14 is $14 is what you could be making if you were building your weak leg actively. Or if you're an emerald coach and you're currently, at $14 a cycle, if you would build your weak leg and you got to diamond, you would be making X amount more. So you can take their carryover volume times 18 and subtract it from their carryover times 14. And that's really the eye opener, because I have coaches that sometimes they just get a diamond. They're like, okay, now what? Why did I do this? So you want to make sure that you're able to understand and explain to them why it's so important.
Yeah, I did a Zoom call and was showing Kelly some stuff on my business center. And this was, maybe 6 months ago. And she was counting numbers up, just looking at mine. She just said, do you know you could be making this much money if you got, if you signed up, if you got Wes back to this rank, or if you got, and I was like, can you shut your mouth? Because that is not why we were talking. And, knowing that and being aware of it just, should put a fire underneath you that you share this, you share the love for this, and you talk to people. And I just voice messaged a girl that's in my challenge group, and she told me that she lost 4 pounds. I said, do you know how I think about 4 pounds? I think about it like 4 pounds of ground beef. And would you ever put 4 pounds of ground beef anywhere on your body again? And when I started my fitness journey, I had really fat knees, and I would never go back to having fat knees, ever. And I don't know why, but the way that God made my body, and I said, yeah, 4 pounds is a lot. And you celebrate people out the wazoo, and you teach them to be excited about this, and they will be on this call with you really soon. All right. Thank you guys for being here. And I love you all. And thank you, April, and your beautiful team. I love you.
Love you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.